What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Love Strap Content. And we are here. We are gathered here this evening to discuss Power Force. Okay? Power Book 4 Force. Season 3, Episode 8. Ocho. Okay? Y'all. Now, this episode was pretty darn good. Okay? Pretty good. And so I'm like, you know what? I got to come talk to the people, okay? I haven't talked to y'all really much all season. My apologies, okay? But I'm here now and I'm here tonight and today. So let's get into the things. If y'all don't mind, please like the video. Subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. And tap in with your girl. What's up? TSF Entertainment, how y'all doing? RIP, JP, Mr. Jones. Thank you for coming through. Hey, P. Nicole 1913. Okay, and then we have Stephen Harris. What's up? You say no work tomorrow? You can stay up late. Okay, girl. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't got no work either. Okay, I'm excited. Shout out for the job, okay? Shout out for the job, giving us a little vacay situation, okay? What's up, Detroit? How you doing? So we just gonna go through the episode in terms of like some points I want to discuss. I have wrote a little bit of notes down because things had happened, okay? Things were happening, all right? So we open up to Mr. DeFranco, okay? Bobby over there looking at his ex-wife under the sheet, okay? Not between the sheets, but under the sheets, all right? And we knew this was going to happen, of course, based on the happenings of episode 7. So I figured that he was going to be the one, or one of the people that, of course, would see her in this condition. Now, I understand we have to move the plot along and things, but just the carelessness of the CSI team and the multiple investigators we see on scene. Y'all didn't see that phone underneath the vehicle, and it wasn't even like deep under the vehicle. Like, bruh, it was right there, damn near by the tire. Like, all y'all need to be fired, low key. Okay, y'all need to be fired because what? That is peak crime evidence. Not understanding that at all. Bobby DeFranco was number 86 to arrive at this scene, and yet he is the first one to see the burner phone. Now, I could be so petty to go real deep into just that whole situation, and the place, it was just weird. Because I'm like, okay, I don't know, I feel like I'm making this up, but I'm like, did Tommy kick the burner phone away from her after he murked her? I don't think so. So I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm a CSI girl myself. So I'm like, okay, let me get my pointer out. Let me get my measuring tape, because how did that end up here? Like, she was holding it like right here, like on one hand. And it's like, why were you handing your phone like that if you weren't recording anything? You could have kept the phone in the car. But Stacey, that's all on you, because number 36 of working, rule number 36 of working with people in the underworld, you do not quit relationships in person. Like anything, any sort of negativity you given in regards to your ops or your partner or anybody you're working with, co-worker or whatever, you do not break up with them in person at night with no witnesses. And you, my dear, should know this. Who's training the people in Chicago? Like, what are we doing here? You broke up with Tommy Egan at 12 a.m. and expect him to be like, oh, okay, you don't want to work with me anymore? Sure, you wanna arrest me? Here am I, here, click. Like, what? Stacey, I'm sorry, you was lacking. I'm gonna have to give you full accountability, because my girl, what are we doing here? I would have texted Tommy, I'm done. That's all you needed to do. Like, girl, what are we doing here? Oh, Jesus. Yes, the phone under the car was horrible. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Yes, continuity, because I am confusion. I mean, I don't know if I want to say poor Stacey. Now, I do be feeling bad when the good guys find themselves in a kerfuffle, you know what I'm saying, with the bad guys, but you got to be strategic. Like, how much training did you do, Stacey? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's beyond common sense how she should have not found herself in this situation, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. Say hi to my Uncle Charles. That's all I can say. What's up, all I see for me? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. She wasn't thinking straight or crooked, okay? Because she should have been thinking about those crooked ass people she messing with, i.e. Tommy Egan. Okay? Because what? Yeah, he had her pressed, okay? Just like that. Them curls in that wig of hers. Okay, anywho. Maria and Tommy. Oh my God. I guess I'm going to just come to terms with I don't really like this relationship. Now, I never loved any of Tommy's relationships. If I had to choose, yes, I would probably choose a good Holly, but she had her faults as well, okay? But Maria, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I ain't feeling it, but this is what they're giving us, so it is what it is. Now, I do love the fact that Tommy updated Maria on what's going on with his business. He explained what went on with Tommy and CBI, and that he also explained that he had to do something that he, couldn't really find another way to handle it. So he handled it a way that he probably shouldn't have. So I do love the fact that he's including her on some of the things, because that's my number one pet peeve when it comes to people that be in the business and they don't let their partners or their children know what's going on. So they out just in the world, like Ezell down the street, not knowing what the hell going on. There's a whole cartel war. Like, you need to let her know, keep your head in the swivel, keep the blicky on hand. Like, you need to let these things, be just said, because what are we doing? Now, even though I commend Tommy for sharing this information with her, I do also question, Tommy, why do you have this girl not calling out on PTO or sick leave? Why is she going to work like she regular? Why? And if you're not going to have her call out of work, and I understand, it's hard out here and you can't really trust nobody. But you need to find somebody that only cares about the color green to have her being escorted like you have before, or her brother had. Like, why is she not being escorted around town? Not understanding at all. It's really aggravating. For real. What's up, King Retro? Well, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. Because she saves lives, PG. Oh, Maria. Oh my God. But I do like the fact she was like, don't burn what you built down. You know what I'm saying? Take it back. But that also goes to my point. You just told my man to take whatever he had back. Therefore, she knew the conclusion of that. That process may get a little bloody. Why is she not in Vermont somewhere? Maine, so many places, North Dakota, South Dakota. Like, what are we doing here? She need to be somewhere. Where was that cabin that Tasha was at? Like, we need her to safety until things calm down. Like, I'm sorry, you can't live your life regular when you with Tommy Egan. And I'm tired of hearing Tommy Egan. Like, it's so cheesy. So now, when it comes to law enforcement, I don't mind them using his full name. That's fine. But when Diamond or other people in the underworld says Tommy Egan, it's mad cheesy. Like, who says that? Like, in the real world, people got nicknames. Okay, we're not trying to say too many syllables when we out here in these streets selling that work. Why we gotta say Tommy Egan all the time? That's real cheesy. Like, I don't understand the writing. Why we doing that? But please cut that out. Now, DeFranco saying whoever that's over there in the suits and the ties in the, high-rise buildings, that's cool. He's a criminal. You're going to say his full name. But if you're out there selling that work, just keep it to Tommy. Give him a nickname if you need to. But Tommy Egan, I'm tired of hearing it. It's weird. And they always say it in a cheesy way. Cut it out, please. Now, I also want to point out in that same scene with Tommy Maria, he said the streets is hot, okay? And then he proceeds to ask her, all day he's asking her, what you gonna be doing today? So we already know we being set up, right? That further explains the reason why she need to be put up somewhere. The streets is hot. You telling her she needs to have a blicky, which she probably never really used for real. Like, Tommy, you've lost Keisha. You've lost Holly at your own hands, okay? Like, I'm not understanding. Do you not want to keep her safe? Anywho, Diamond and Jannard. All I want to say is about this scene when Diamond was telling Jannard that him and Shanti was the dream team. What dream team are we talking about? We're not talking about Jordan. We're not talking about Pippen. It was wrong how they did Isaiah, but we're not going to go there. Hakeem Olajuwon, like, it's so many people that I'm like, okay, the dream team, yes. But Shanti and Jannard, that's why I know, yeah, Diamond, you on that sauce real hard, for real, because dream and team, that don't go in the same sentence with Jannard and Ashanti. Like, oh, baby. Yeah, I said Ashanti. So, no, you really need to get off that sauce because them brain cells is over there just jumping around at this point. Diamond, I'm over you. Tommy meets with Che. Now, I hated this whole scene because I just really get annoyed, and Power does this all the time. When it comes to these cartels, when it comes to these organizations and all these races and everything, they big them up for nothing. Now, Che, he may be about something we haven't seen his end yet, but he needs to end soon because I'm over it. Like, you over here telling Tommy he got 24 hours to sell this work. Unrealistic as I don't know what. And then you not only say you're going to cut ties, but you're going to murk the entire family. Like, for why? This man been selling 99 bricks a day for you. Every time you see Tommy, he asking for more work. Like, he can't get no grace. Like, I understand. This ain't church, for real. But Che, you doing too much. Like, I don't like Che. And he be over there just, when it comes to Tommy and Miguel, he's always instigating. Like, he like a little entertainment or whatever, just trying to be Geppetto. Like, Che, I'm over him. He can go. So he need to be gone by minute 52 of episode 9. Please, can we make that happen? Because I'm tired. Because he's asking Tommy, why is he wasting his time? Che, you ain't doing shit. You ain't doing nothing. You look bored half the time any damn way. Get out of my face with all that. Retro CG, you said, pretty girl, are we suiting up to help Tommy? It's time for Jannard to go. I mean, I have had some all black days with the homegirls, but I'm retired. So yeah, I got a job, I got a family, I got too much to lose. I mean, me and Tommy cool or whatever, but I got some cousins that may be able to help him, but I can't go in myself, unfortunately. I'm retired, okay? I'm retired. Okay, P. Nicole, you said Che was irritating you too. Okay, good, because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? So, yeah, I don't want to say anything else because he over there talking about he make Amazon money. Like, ain't nothing wrong with a good bodega, okay? Give me some turkey and cheese on a roll with some lettuce, tomatoes, salt, pepper, oil, and vinegar. With some chips in an Arizona. Yeah. Like, Che, you don't know nothing about no bodega. Shut it up, okay? That's not even allowed to be said in your mouth. Miguel tells Maria about the deal with the Marquez. I do like that. I do like that he finally told her the truth. I really wanted him to tell Tommy. I understand that would be blowback, but I feel like at this point we need to be fully transparent about what's going on here, because if Tommy is to find out about Miguel's deal, which I don't think they're gonna go that route because we're ready family. Okay, we over here. We already established that. But I feel like Miguel leaving those details out, it could turn out to bite him, but it probably isn't because we only have 2 more episodes. But I feel like he should have been like, all right, Tommy, I need you to sit down, brace yourself for this news I'm about to tell you, bruh. My bad in advance, but yeah, I was trying to murk you, okay? You was over there blowing up my warehouse, making me look bad in front of Che. I had to do what I had to do, okay? But I decided to save your life because you were so kind and generous with your bread. Like, he really needs to sit Tommy down because at this point, we can't leave anything out. Ghost was good for that. Ghost was over there just keeping secrets and just only, divulging information he felt it was necessary to tell people. But I feel like, Miguel, I hope you not telling Tommy why the Marquez is really after you. I hope that doesn't come to bite you. But I don't think we're going to go there. I don't know if Miguel is safe, but I don't feel he's in danger. I know that sounds real crazy for me to say, but I don't know. Up until this episode, I'm like, Miguel, get him out of here. But I don't know. He's not really annoying me like he usually is. Like, you can stay a little bit because honestly, probably because him and Tommy, they just got to team up. Miguel has the people and Tommy needs the people. So we need to be over here working together because we got a lot of people that's going to be after us. Just honestly. So yeah, we need to team up. You say, well, you and the fellas gonna yeah, let the fellas. I'll be over here. I'll make y'all a cute little dinner, what have you. You know what I'm saying? A good little celebratory dinner. But yeah, I don't think I'm fit to be out in them streets like that. Okay, it's cold up there. I got asthma. That ain't gonna work. Okay, Chicago get cold. Okay, y'all saw what happened with Juicy Smollett when it came to Chicago in the winter. We don't need those problems. Maria, she is always over there trying to convince them to team up. Now, this is for her benefit, but actually it is really it's really the best for everybody at this point, just to kumbaya, my lord, and just join forces. So she is a little aggravating when it comes to asking Tommy and Miguel to reunite. I said reunite. Oh Lord, not even reunite because they never really been for each other. But yeah, she's just trying to make a big fat happy family. And Maria, you just need to go to North Dakota or somewhere, girl. You in danger, girl. Like, get out of here. Like, Chicago is no longer safe. Like, I don't understand, like, how you think you can really be out here just with a regular job and just... If she go to work again in episode 9, well, she shouldn't. Just call the people and say you got a stomach ache or something because... You can't be going back there. I don't care. Save your life. You got to worry about you and your seed at this point. Jenard goes to Shanti's. I want to say house because at this point we haven't seen an apartment or anything. She just lives there. She's always in the boxing gym, just scowling at the ceiling, plotting on her next move. Like, it's like, you so intense, girl. Like, you might as well go ahead and get somebody, because I mean, you was tense when you was getting boned down. So I don't know what will make you relax, Shanti. I don't know if the braids too tight or what, but girl, like, you need to loosen up. I'm sorry. I really feel like her true love is Manny Fresh. So I don't know if we have time to see that, if that's ever going to happen. But that's really, I feel like, where her heart really belongs. What's up, Queen? How are you doing? Thank you for coming through. So Jenard, he says sorry. Now, if I were to walk in and see my man giving a whore back shots in a public restroom and he high, just because I haven't responded to a text in 24 hours, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's just not gonna cut it. I'm sorry, Jenard. I'm sorry. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I'm sorry. She ain't built like that. Okay. Maybe another chick, she will accept that with a little couple Louis bags or something. But yeah, Shanti's not that girl. But he was like, okay, if you're not going to accept my apologies for the relationship, can we at least have, some sort of decorum when it comes to our professional situation? She was like, I don't know about all that. She was like, this ain't for me. He was like, well, F it then. That's when you be knowing sometimes a Negro's real thoughts about you, when he's willing to snap at the drop of a hat. Like he really felt like, nah, F you for real. So he also made a comment. He said, that's why me and my brother are so successful, because we forgive each other. And I could be reaching, but I don't know if that's the writers like setting us up for something. Like, you know, power is good for the offings of siblings and parents and everything. I don't want to see that. But I don't know. Like, there's a few things that happened in the past, as well as this episode, that have me kind of wondering, like, would we see Diamond offing Jenard or vice versa? Because I remember that scene, the same episode when they took my Liliana. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, I had to recover from that for a second, because that hit me real bad in the heart. You know, Diamond spared Jenard, you know what I'm saying? But we knew Diamond wasn't gonna murk him. But I don't know. Diamond is on the sauce now. And on the sauce, Diamond, drunk ass Diamond, he's liable to do anything at this point. So I don't know. I would not be surprised if he were to murk his brother. But I feel like that's for D-Mac to do. Point blank. Period. D-Mac, you got to get at him. We'll talk about that a little later, though. Dexter, what's up? He said she attacked him from behind. LOL. Bruh, like, he can at least say I tripped and fell on top of her, but logistically, how was that even gonna happen, Jenard? Oh my God. You said they teased Diamond shooting Jenard when he shot that CLE point. Exactly. I mentioned that a few times as well. I just talked about that on Miss K's channel, and I believe on Brillo's channel, where I feel like that was foreshadowing as well. Like, Jenard was like, hold up, bro. And next thing we know, pew, 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 across the wall. And I'm like, oh, that's not to the windows to the wall that Ying Yang Twins Little John was talking about. But okay, Diamond, I see your point. You know what I'm saying? So that's what has me kind of thinking, like, what if Diamond don't necessarily go back to prison for bad work, but for murking his brother? Well, I mean, he done murk a CEO and his parole officer. We'll get to that in a second. So the feds meet up. Sang is over there telling the folk they need to, you know, avenge Stacey Marks' death, yada, yada, yada. And DeFranco shares that he stole the burner from the crime scene, and that was a horrible mistake. But from DeFranco's positioning, I could possibly understand why he would do that, because, you know, he needs help, or he feels he needs help when it comes to this Tommy thing. But he was like, you know what, I feel Tommy is the doer. We need to lean towards him, right? But they also mentioned, like, Vic is most likely in the middle of it. So, child, we run into Vic. What's up, CR22? He said it's a show about drug dealers, and yes, they're going to tease stuff, just that. Yeah, but, you know, power be powering sometimes. So sometimes things seem obvious, and then power just go all the way to the left, You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Summer House Sully. I love your picture there. Vic is over there with Ray. Ray, girl, if you really know the track record of Vic, you will get out of Dodge ASAP pronto. Ain't no book important enough for you to be sticking around for this ish. Like, now they made it clear that Vic has some place set up for them, but they're going to be going there in about a week or so. We don't have a week, Vic. Get this girl out of town ASAP pronto. Like, this girl is about to risk her whole career for this fool. Like, it's so many things I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. She learns of Stacey's demise via phone, and she shares it with Vic. And Vic was like, hold up now. I didn't do it, but I'm sure Tommy did. But I may be in a position where I can get from underneath Tommy. So at this point, I was like, okay, Vic, you got your thinking caps on. We about to have some real like luxurious, glorious scheme to really get from underneath Tommy, right? I'm thinking this the whole time because I'm like, all right, Vic, you've been bossing up a little bit. I'm a little proud of you. So don't disappoint me. All right. He gets a call from Franco and saying, and they pretty much want his assistance from taking Tommy down. And they was like, bro, just come on over here. We can give you a little Big Mac, a little #1 situation. We can chop it up, you know what I'm saying, over a cute little meal. And we can discuss how we can take down Tommy. And Vic was like, hell no. I'm at least requiring Chick-fil-A. Like, y'all not about to be over here having me eating some damn Big Mac. And I'm over here risking my life. And I'm pausing because I'm thinking about the events that occur later, but we're gonna get to that, right? I have some other thoughts, but I don't want to go on another rant, y'all. That's why I'm pausing, because Vic just be blowing me. He be blowing me like, sir, do you not understand how dangerous Tommy is? So Raheem, he gives Shanti some investment bread. Apparently, he been flipping J's from all around the world, and he got all this bread. Okay, he's a little hustler, if you will, and he makes it known that he's feeling her. So he's trying to slide into Jannard's place, and she's not really necessarily rejecting his advances, but she's kind of, giving him just enough to have a little hope. Okay, even though I feel like Mannie Fresh is probably the only one she'll give it up to. But she's going to play the long game and, entertain Raheem a little bit, right? So she instructs Raheem to just act like he's all down for CBI so he can get all the intel. He was like, all right, cool, I'm going to continue that, but I got a little intel for you right now. So he explains to her that, I can't remember her name. Oh, Kendra. He explains that Kendra is not happy about selling that 50. Okay? Because we already know. The body's going to be dropping, okay? That's not smart. We want to have our customers customering, okay? We want them to keep coming back. They're not going to come back if they're going to drop from the drugs, okay? So she was like, all right, cool. Mental note, because we already know Shanti, that's all she do all day. I ain't see her not really fight nobody for real. I don't even see nobody in that gym, but she's over there strategizing. So that's where her time is being used, okay? So she also explains that she's going to go ahead and work with Tommy because they need a supplier. And so he was like, oh, now we over here working with the oppressor. She was like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And he was like, I'm not feeling it. And she was like, I understand, but I want you working with me. Okay, Jannard couldn't cut it. So I'm going to need you to work with me. Just trust and believe in me. So he was like, all right, boo-boo. I'm going to do that, right? So next thing we see is the feds. Child, they're over there to ransack grandma's house, and JP is over there. JP, what the hell you do all day, bro? What do you do all day? I seen you cook 1, maybe 2 meals. Okay, the house is still giving 1932. I don't hear nothing about the bar. I don't hear nothing about nothing. What are you doing all day? Kate gone. I don't see no pets. Like, what are you doing all day? Lining your hair up, like putting that little perm in. Like, what are we doing? Be useful or something. Start counting some money. Be a stash house or something for Tommy. Like, I don't understand. How are the bills getting paid? I guess I'm gonna be quiet. Like I told the fellas before, all he do is probably watching MASH all day. Well, probably reruns. It's probably somewhere playing on Netflix. Who knows? So Tommy comes over because he calls Tommy and he explains he was handcuffed for about an hour. He need to know what the hell going on. So Tommy tells him, yeah, I got kicked out of CBI. And then D-Mac comes in and they explain the whole situation because JP was like, you better tell me what the F going on here. And it was like, all right, I guess we got to tell you. So they explain that Jannard was over there trying to murk D-Mac for at least the second time. And Tommy, he wasn't going for that. So he went at Diamond. And so JP was like, oh, I should have been the one protecting my son. You know, he just, the male ego. You already know how it is. Sorry for the males that's in the chat. So, of course, you know, he seemed very appreciative of what Tommy did because he was like, yo, you risked everything you built for my son. He was like, yeah, I'll do anything to protect that boy. Tommy is a great uncle. Great uncle. He one of them uncles that's always gonna give you bread when you see him, advice, all the things. Okay, he the uncle you want to go to the store with. You remember, you know, back in the day when you was a kid, if you like an 80s, 90s baby, and you had an uncle that always want to take you to the store, he gonna let you ball out at the corner store. Okay, he is a great uncle. Pappy, I don't know if Tommy need to be anybody's pappy. Okay, so JP is pissed off. But Tommy was like, I know what you're thinking, bro. Do not go after Jannar, please. But by the end of that scene, we already know JP about to go after Jannar. Like, we already see what was going to happen. Hey, Monica M, how you doing? What's up, Aisha? How are you doing? Thank y'all for coming through. P. Nicole, you said, why all the homes in this show old as hell? JP and Miguel, I don't know. I can't tell you. Maybe they didn't want to invest money in the proper ways. Well, I don't want to say proper because it's based on what you like for yourself. I mean, I would like an updated home with stainless steel, you know, appliances, but maybe JP doesn't appreciate that. I guess he's an old soul. He loved the jazz and all the things. So maybe he's still living in the Harlem Renaissance era. Who knows? So we at the warehouse with Jannar and King Kilo's crew. And them fools still pissed off about Lil K, all right? I believe, I don't know, was that the end of episode 1, season 1, when he knocked off Lil K? I know he knocked off somebody at the end of that episode, but I'm not sure if that was Lil K. No, I don't know. DeMarcus, if you hear, you can remind me. But anywho, Lil K was knocked off, and they still salty about that, okay? And we learned that King Kilo is about to be released. Okay, we're about to have a good old party. And Jannar was like, you know, that's what's up. Let them know I said what's up. And so they was like, nah, we good. Like, you know, you could tell like there's some tension in that group. But it seems like none of them really F with Jannar like that. Meanwhile, Raheem, he peeping the whole scene, okay? And Jannar constantly over here saying, yo, this is my realest one. This is my most loyal one. Raheem over there. Which has me thinking, could they also be setting us up for Raheem to be the one to take out Jannar? Since Jannar think he is his most loyal one. Because Raheem is peeping everything. I don't know. He could be involved. He could be the doer. But again, I'm going to say I need D-Mac to handle that. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Even though I'm not an advocate for the YNs to be YNing. But in this case, I'll let the YN have a pass. Okay. D-Mac and Marshall, they have a pretty interesting scene and a bit of an argument, right? So D-Mac comes into the house. And I was so glad the writers really explained what was going on up in there because it didn't seem like a house fit for a YN. We never saw any family members. So I'm like, what's going on here? But they explained that Marshall, his mom got 3 jobs. All 3 of them. Like, she must be part Jamaican because I'm like, 3 jobs. What is the rent going for over there? Like, what's going on? So, D-Mac wants Marshall to help him sell the bricks that Tommy gave him because Tommy needs help. Okay, he needs help selling that work because Shay was over there being unrealistic about the time to turn around. So Marshall was like, nah, I think I'm gonna slide on over to CBI. Things are back to normal now. Jannard's back on top. So yeah, you and your crazy ass uncle, I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? Really, he was more so about Tommy, but he knows that's his uncle, right? So D-Mac is kind of thrown off and upset because he's like, bruh, like CBI tried to murder me. They set me up. Like, what are you not understanding? But Marshall was like, yo, when you was over there, you know, and hiding in school with the horses and whatnot, I was over here building back, the repertoire when it came to CBI. Like, I put in a lot of hard work, so I can't side with you. Now, I see both sides, right? But from my opinion, I don't know, because I feel that if CBI, aka Jannard, it was Diamond too, but if CBI was trying to murk my mans, and I'm always with my mans doing the dirty work, that means my life was in danger too, even though I wasn't the person that was intended for said setup or hit. I would still feel away. So it's one of those things where people say don't take it personal, because it's like, because also you got to think about it. Granted, D-Mac has done a lot of questionable things as to why we are in this whole position with his life being in danger. Marshall also has to think, you know what? Maybe the gang life isn't really what I need to be in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to go on Indeed.com and fill out a few applications, because this is a lot. This is a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I think the straw that broke the camel's back is when D-Mac started talking about the work ethic of Marshall's mom. You know what I'm saying? Because he was saying, yo, I need to pay my mom's rent. Granted, he came in with like at least 3 bricks. You could have paid her rent with that. But it's about, the alliances. So now, D-Mac is a math whiz, okay? And I love the math myself. Your mom working 3 jobs. Y'all both living in an apartment. I don't know if y'all got anybody else staying there. But you in the streets, and you still got to pay the rent. Like, what the hell? Is the utilities out of control? Like, I don't understand. Like, I know groceries high, but the math ain't math. And like, I don't understand why she working 3 jobs and you still got to pay rent. I could go on a whole 10-minute rant about this, but I'm choosing not to. Because D-Mac was questioning it, and I don't really think D-Mac was really talking about his mom's, like, to talk about her, but he's explaining, like, sir, like, that don't make sense. But he's also a guest in their home that's not contributing to anything. D-Mac has balled out. He bought a motorcycle. He's over there buying personalized gifts with Genesis. Like, he's spending his bread elsewhere. I have yet to see him put bread in the Marshall's or his mom's hand. So I'm gonna just say he should have just laid off that part of the conversation. But it was like, you know what? Marshall's like, it's overcrowded in here anyway. Get the F out. Okay, so I understand where the hell Marshall was coming with that. But I do love the fact that D-Mac did apologize. You know what I'm saying? Because YNs don't be apologizing like that. So I did appreciate the apology, but it was a little too late. Marshall, he was pretty much over it. So he kicks D-Mac out. Now, Tommy and Shanti, they pretty much learned that they have to link up. You know what I'm saying? Tommy has the work. She has the crews, the corner boys and the club. So it just seems like a cute little relationship they can form or whatever, right? But in order for this thing to work, especially with this turnaround with Che, they need to flip at least 3 crews from the coalition. And they need to get that connect out of Southfield, aka Kendra. So they have to work on that, which doesn't seem like a hard thing to do. Hey, Miss Kira, thank you for coming through. Monica M, you said Marshall's mom either on drugs or she isn't working 3 jobs. Yeah, like, I done seen some functional crackheads before, but ain't no crackhead really working no 3 jobs. They smoking the crack. And if their son is over there selling the crack, they definitely not going to be working to get the crack. Now, I've never really seen or heard of a son serving their mom, but I have seen, nephews serve their auntie and, uncles or what have you. But nah, crackheads going to find other things. They're going to rob, steal, and do whatever they need to do. And if she was really a crackhead, there would be no TV in that house. That PS5 wouldn't be up in there. Like, everything would be sold. That house would be looking bare. That house would be looking at Kanan and Famous house over there, and their little spot. It will be looking just like that. So that's what I'm saying. Marshall and your mama, y'all need to have a meeting because the math ain't mathing. So y'all need to call a family meeting to see what the hell going on here. Because 3 jobs is ridiculous. Now, it could be 1 full-time and 2 part-time. I don't know. And maybe she one of them prideful ass mamas like, no, I'm not going to take none of your drug money, yada, yada, yada. But if not, you need to kick his ass out then. Because I'm not going to be working 3 jobs and having somebody else up in here soaking up all the lights and the energy and the water and whatnot. Now, we not doing that. Nah, we good. That is true. Tommy was giving Kate, some of that cocaine, but that's a whole nother. I don't even want to break their dynamic down, even though I love that, Kate. I've been rooting for Kate since forever. Okay, I love me some Kate. I want to say she can't do no wrong, but she can't do wrong, but I'm going to still ride with her, just like Effie. Sorry, y'all. Aisha, you said, I actually know somebody that works 2 jobs and stay broke. She's a phony, pretentious, though. Oh, it's pretending to be something she's not dropped. I dropped her 2 to 3 years ago. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I know people with multiple jobs and still live in paycheck to paycheck. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I know the struggle. I know the grind. I've worked 2 jobs at multiple points in my life. I get it. But I'm not about to do that. And my son's still selling the drugs and he's staying with me. And seeming like, I want to say they like in the projects or anything, but how much is the rent there? Because it was given, it wasn't no studio apartment. You could tell there's bedrooms back there, but nah, we need to reassess some things, mother, because what are we doing? Hey, Monique, thank you for coming through. Yeah, Tommy was on that stuff too. It was like a bonding moment they was doing, Miss Kira, him and Kate. So Tommy and I don't know why I want to call her Ashanti all the time, but Tommy and Shanti, they go to Albanians, and he's upset because he's like, Tommy, too many changes going on. I'm losing men, and now you over here telling me that you a lone wolf. You over here no longer with CBI. And Shanti was like, no, I'm his partner. Okay, and Shanti was over there. She reminded me of me when I'm going through an interview. Like, she was killing it. She was killing it. She was like, okay, you want to know my pros and my cons, my strengths and my weaknesses. Like, she was over there giving a good sell to the Albanian man. And, he wanted to be racist and sexist, and he still is. But he was like, you know what? What I do like is the fact that I'm going to make some green. So I don't care if you black. I don't care if you got a vagina. Meow. I don't care. You going to make me some bread? I guess we can work something out, right? So it looks like we on board. We got a little partnership, right? So JP, sorry, y'all. JP, yo, the way Jannar fell to the ground when JP that was like the perfect fall, yo. The perfect fall. Like, it was given Friday. Like, Raheem should have been over him. Like, you got knocked the hell out. Like, JP really did it on him, right? He really gave Jannar that work. Unfortunately, you didn't follow that up with a blicky. Because, sir, what in your right mind thinks that the head of this drug organization is going to allow you to punch the dog-ish out of him and not retaliate? And mind you, this is the same person that has attempted to murk your son at least twice. Now, I understand we can say JP's not a part of that life, yada, yada, yada. No, JP, you have lived in Chicago for at least a good 40 years. You know how this game goes. So there is no excuse for you not to end that situation, because we already know. And Jannard, that shit you snort must be powerful as hell because you are a trained fighter, sir. And you had no squabbles at that point. Like, sir, stay off that shit. Oh Lord, that shit was funny as hell though. Funny as hell. And I did not like the line that he used. He pretty much called himself a slur. I feel like that was unnecessary. He should have said, hey, you messed with the wrong father. Like, you messed with the wrong boy, like referring to his son. Like, I don't know, that line was misplaced. And as I was explaining earlier on Miss K's live, like, I was trying to think, did Jannard use that slur against him in a previous season? I don't have any recollection of that. And I was like, maybe they're trying to bring that back up because I don't know if you remember, Jannard and Claudia, they, went over there and kidnapped JP. I believe season 1. It could have been season 2, but I believe it was season 1. So, they have had a little bit of time together before, but I feel like that line was unnecessary. But I love seeing it. But unfortunately, when you beat somebody's ass to the point where they are embarrassed, you got to murk them. You got to murk them. Like, that's rule number 22. Okay. We see Maria at the house. She patches, well, not patches them, but she over there doing what she do, saving lives, saving knuckles, okay? She over there at the house, and she's, doing something that JP could have did his damn day. JP, I know you don't walk past the CVS. Why the hell Maria need to come over there and put whatever peroxide or alcohol, whatever the hell? You didn't need her, no whole nurse over there. Like, Walgreens, CVS, what the hell y'all got up there? There's no way that you needed this woman to waste her time to be over there patching your ass up. Ridiculous. But I'm going to give the scene a little grace because Tommy did mention he thought the issue was worse based on D-Mac's, reaction. So we now know that was kind of like that was kind of, I don't want to say foreshadowing, but that was a thing in the writing that they kind of showed us, like, hey, when it comes to his daddy, D-Mac, he may exaggerate things, or he may take it to a place where the action may not necessarily fit the situation. So we could expect for him to be very much off the rocker, rightfully so, next episode. She also explains to D-Mac and JP that she is with child, okay? And, she didn't realize that Tommy didn't tell his family, but he wanted to wait till they had a cute little dinner or whatever. But, we too busy selling the drugs and dodging the cartel to be worried about some measly ass dinner, aren't we? But JP got all the time because apparently he ain't doing nothing, so he could cook a good meal. Like, JP, that's the least you can do. Tommy should never have to eat at a restaurant. You need to have dinner there. It was given, I don't want to say housewife because they brothers or whatever, but JP, that's the least you can do. Make sure, the organization, or at least Tommy, got a little something to eat when he had a hard day of selling drugs and murking people. That's all I'm saying. So, let's see here. Monica M, said they acted like JP got beat up like Jannard. He just needed exactly, or not necessarily a Band-Aid, because I don't know, a Band-Aid around the knuckles, that's probably going to be hard to stay on. But a little, what do they call it? A little wrap. What I'm saying? I can't think of the name. But, something you can clearly get from a CVS. I mean, all you need is $6.59, sir. Like, why are you bringing this woman over here? But hey, it was a cute family scene or whatever. But again, we mentioned, or he asked Maria, what are you doing the rest of the day? I'm going to work. So this whole episode is focused on her going to work later on that day, right? So Shane, he visits Sang, and we could pretty much expect they may be murking Sang's wife next episode, because he had on I don't know if he had her on video or he infiltrated and hacked Sang's like camera system, but he pretty much told him like, I see your wife got home early today. I was like, oh, so now we monitoring the wife. Okay, cool. Now, Shane saying, sorry, he didn't mention like, hey, Stacy's gone. She about to be put on blast because I'm about to blast her ass and tell the world how dirty she is. So I am about to do all the things, okay? And that includes, okay, making sure her reputation is in the dumpster, okay? I can replace her, okay, as U.S. attorney. I can overturn this whole Claudia situation and have Ortega out by 12 p.m. tomorrow. How that sound? So a boy was like, that sounds kind of good. But I know you really think you have this under control, saying, but please tell your wife she need to be on PTO as well, okay? Because it's too close for comfort. It's too close for comfort. You cannot play with these cartels. Like, nah, she about to be out of here, okay? Yeah. So he said he's gonna get this Rico gone. So we gonna see. We gonna see how that works. I mean, I feel like Bobby is definitely going to hinder that in some way, but I really don't care. I don't know, the whole storyline with the Popo, it's cute or whatever, but I'm not as invested in that as all the other storylines. But I'm going to be tuned in for sure. So Kendra, she makes the same mistake as Stacy. As I stated, Rule 62. You do not break up with your partners in the underworld in person. You do not deliver any negative news to your partner in person. So you walking down them stairs, mind you, I'm not sure how the hell everybody going down to that basement. Like it's supposed to be a front, okay? Like why is the doors not locked? Don't understand. Unless there's an intercom service or some notification, Diamond is able to buzz them in and they don't show it to us. But it is ridiculous how many times. Well, no, because D-Mac, he came in and surprised them. So no, I can't even use that as an excuse. Anywho, old girl, and we should, you know how to writing. They are very smart. So they made sure she shows us her uniform, but it's unbuttoned, and we see her little white tee. So I guess that was supposed to signify she was about to be over there and giving her angel wings, okay? And she about to see Uncle Charles too, because she came downstairs cocky as hell, talking about, I don't need y'all. I wasn't trying to F with that fit. I'm going to be over there messing with Tommy and Jannard. And I'm tired of you disrespecting me. And you not giving me no D. Diamond. D is for D. Okay, you ain't been breaking me off. You talking hella disrespectful. Hell no, I'm not gonna work with you. See, that's why you need to be giving it up, Diamond. I'm just saying. Maybe she would have been a little more careful with her decisions, but she, in a cocky manner, said she was done working with him. And before we knew it, pew, 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 through the wall. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. That was probably one of the first scenes of this show where I was low key like impressed and shocked all at the same time, because I was like, that was a cute little situation. That was creative. Like I love the way they did that, and then how they just even had Diamond point the blicky seemingly at Jannard, and then Jannard was like, hold up, what the going on here? And then he started shooting through the wall, and she goes down. She's falling and she can't get up. And then he proceeds to instruct Jannard to go find somebody to clean up that goddamn body, okay? Diamond, drunk ass Diamond is low-key a good time, but not a good time. He's reckless as hell. Like, is it the Henny? Is it that brown liquor? That brown liquor, I don't know, white liquor probably ain't no better. But can we, Shanti, can you clean him up? Like, can we get you to start juicing for Diamond? We need to replace the liquids because this is hilarious. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I did not want Kendra to die, but she was a fool. She did not follow Rule 62. You could have clearly texted him. You could have clearly, if you wanted to do a FaceTime, you could have called him. And now look at you. Look at you. Oh, God. I just hate when people make dumbass decisions, but hey, we want to have no show if that was the case. Yes, P. Nicole. That's the thing. I don't want to keep talking about it, but that right there on the screen, that's the kicker. That's the kicker. Monica MB says she should have been taken out. She was dumb. All these people out like they aren't in the life. No one is exactly. Like, what are we doing here? It's dumb. You're just dumb. That's why, like her and Stacy, they made the same mistake. I can't be mad at it. So Diamond tells Jenard to go back to King Kilo for the 11th time to tell him that it was in fact D-Mac that murked his nephew. At this point, Jenard should be like, bruh, I'm tired of going to this man. We got to come up with something different. Like, like if somebody keep coming to me and tell me different versions of a story, I'ma automatically be looking at you sideways. Like, don't y'all playing around? Y'all playing around. And he mentioned that later on. Like, y'all playing around. Like, what are we doing here? What's up, Kobe? What's up? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. So, Jenard, he got to get on the job, okay? The Get Hit Man goes to get at Maria. I have so many questions, y'all. And I'm sure we've all reviewed the same damn questions. One, where did y'all find this guy? How did he get the qualifications of a hitman? Like, who are his references? Like, I don't know what kind of HR department y'all got over there at the cartel, but I'm gonna need y'all to tighten it up, okay? Because after the failure of this Get Hit Man, y'all need to have some things in place, okay? Y'all need to make sure each hitman has at least 6 references. Because what the hell is going on here? He asked Maria for her keys. Now, I've thought of many different options as to why. Maybe he wanted her keys to drive the car off after he murks her. But 9 times out of 10, 9.99 times out of 10, if someone gets out of their vehicle and starts walking away from their vehicle, their keys are already going to be on them. So you couldn't have murked her, then found her keys. It could have either been in her pocket or her purse. Bruh. And the scene that I automatically thought of, and I was explaining that earlier, Miss K's live, like it reminded me of Training Day when they had Jake in the tub, and old boy was like, no, don't murk me up. Let me look at his wallet. Let me look at his pockets. Y'all can still do that when y'all murk him. The same $25 is going to be in the wallet as it is now. That makes no sense. Now, the writing have been pretty good for the most part of this season. But God damn it, I just don't understand what happened here. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't. He deserved what he got. And I do like the call back because if y'all can recall OG Power, Tommy, he ran over somebody with his car. So I'm like, oh, this is a cute little bonding moment they can have later on when they're laughing it up, at their, child's, elementary graduation or something. I don't know. Now, Maria's actions, I can see how they could be questionable, but I'm going to chalk that up to 1, her being pregnant, 2, her really just being in a position where she has never encountered this sort of danger personally. So I'm gonna let her slide for the things that she has done. At least she did use the blicky. I'm not mad at that. And at the end of the day, she got the job done. Miguel, he wasn't able to murk him, even though he ran away last episode. God damn. you guys. I'm sorry. It's a lot. It's a lot. Miss Carrie, she said, because I don't even want to do Groupon like that. Like, for real, where did y'all find him? And then he was charging Ortega triple what? Triple Snicker bars? Like, what the hell y'all paying this man? Because what? And he wasn't even the first hitman that he had. Now, if I didn't have morals or whatnot, I would apply. But I can't be going out like that. Monica Emmy said, remember when we thought the Seven Horsemen used that's what I'm saying. That's power be powering. They always be doing this. Now, they didn't hype him up like they did the other crews, in previous power, seasons, but this is ridiculous. Yeah, Miss Carey said she thought being pregnant was going to get her out of it. Yeah, like she definitely thought, and the fact that he knew, that was interesting, right? But I did realize, like, last episode, Stacy was the one that, because she was the only other person that knew the information, so she clearly has had to been the one that put this thing out in the streets. If y'all don't, agree, I understand, but she was the only other person. I feel like she kind of let that out right before she went to meet Tommy. Between the time she left Maria's house and met Tommy, she let that little detail slip. I feel that it is the case. But yeah, when you pleaded for your life, I would say everything. Lord, I got asthma, I got anxiety. I would tell the man everything, okay? I'll start making up shit. Because what? I'm not trying to go. What else you want to know, sir? Shit. I'll have every ailment in the world, okay? I don't want to say it because I'm not trying to put that into existence, but he gonna be knowing some things about me that's true and untrue. Okay, so she runs him over. She calls Tommy. Tommy goes over there. They go to a doctor to make sure the baby's good. She asks him to call Miguel so they can clean up the crime scene. It's so many things that I can really discuss about that, about cameras and security guards and no other employees leaving or returning, getting off work, coming to work in that time frame, because it's been at least a good 35, 45, 50 minutes, okay, that has passed. But I'm going to choose to go over, we're going to ignore that. We're going to just ignore all the obvious things, okay, because we'll be here all day. I can't believe he asked for her damn keys. Like, this still baffling. Like, you want a cigarette too? A stick of gum? Like, what the hell? Okay, let me move on. Oh my God, Vic. Victor. I don't even know where to start, you guys, honestly. I don't know where to start because Tommy is a certified serial killer. And I'm not talking about Frosted Flakes, you guys. He has the bodies. And don't get me wrong, Vic got a few bodies as well, including his damn daddy. But for you to sneak behind Tommy and put a blicky in the back of his body, and then proceeds to use said blicky multiple times, shooting at the ground, making him step more than I did in college. And then proceed to talk all this shit and blame Tommy for everything, which I do feel that Tommy is responsible for a lot of things, right? But for you to have this said speech and for you to tell your girl 12 hours prior that you have an opportunity to get up from underneath Tommy's thumb, and the best you thought you can do is sneak on him, give a speech, waste ammo, and not murk him. Because regardless if DeFranco or anybody would have showed up, you still weren't going to do it. So, Victor, what was the point of that? Because I hope you know the next time you and Thomas Patrick Egan are in the same area, you are going to join your sister and your dog because you are dumb as fuck. Like who, what, when, where, why, how, Victor? Like what was your plan? You acting like JP, and JP not even in game. Y'all making actions where y'all not understanding the follow through. You're not looking beyond. You're not looking 8 steps ahead. I'm sorry. I was trying to be Team Vic for a few episodes. I can't do it no more. I can't. Vic, like I said before, you're a lover boy. You want to be over there with your girl and you want to be hugged up in front of a fireplace. Cool. Let that be you. You never really wanted to be about that life in the first damn place. But now you have threatened a serial killer. You are a known snitch, and we already know Tommy been letting you go for that for minutes. So not only you are a snitch that Tommy has been letting go because he has been using and manipulating you, but now you have put this man in a position where he has to murk you. Ray, get out of town, girl. Or at least break it off with Victor and save your job. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, it pisses me off. Aunt Beth left, and the only reason why Vic said he didn't leave with her is because he wanted to watch Tommy squirm. And Tommy did what? Stayed the F alive. Because guess what? You now are in handcuffs. But we already know DeFranco is just going to use that to squeeze Victor out of all the information he can to avenge his wife's or ex-wife's death. Oh my God. And for Tommy to pretty much confess to DeFranco that he murked Stacy. Now, I have a couple of different feelings about this because it probably would have been unrealistic for DeFranco to murk Tommy at that point because he has some sort of morals to him. So he's probably not going to murk Tommy. He wants to play by the rules, as he stated, and he wants Tommy to rot in jail. But I feel like this is a mistake because he does not know that Tommy, he doesn't really face too many consequences to his actions. So you're probably going to really regret this decision by letting him go. And you probably should have murked Tommy and figured it out some type of way between your partner and Vic. Because I feel like Vic wouldn't have even said nothing because that would have been a problem. Or just Vic wasn't even going to murk him. So I could have said DeFranco could have made or asked Vic or just waited to Vic to really shoot at Tommy. But he was never going to do that. He was going to wait so long. Tommy would have found a way to get that blicky out of Vic's hand so fast, and Vic would have been on the ground. So, I don't know. Jesus, this is so exhausting. Did y'all like the video yet? Please do your girl a favor. That is facts. Tommy don't take nobody serious. Now, I must say, this was the first episode where I did see Tommy a little nervous when Tommy was in his car and we saw all the feds at his house and he skirted off less than the half a block away with nobody noticing him. But he actually did look visibly like worried. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. Seeing Tommy a little nervous, a little frustrated. I kind of like that. We need to sprinkle a little more of that in. That would be cute or whatever. Monica, you said Vic better hope he stays in jail. Vic was supposed to leave before with his girlfriend that passed, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I mentioned it, but that was something I was thinking in my head. Like, you are horrible at getting your girlfriends to safety. All right, Ray, you don't know no better, I swear. TSF, you said Vic might end up walking away. Yeah, before this episode, I was thinking that, and it could still happen, right? because what I mentioned earlier in the season, I was thinking possibly the end game for Vic and Jannard was for them to regain or have power, be the ones at on top at the end of this season, um, which is kind of a arc from the beginning of this show. Like we saw when Tommy entered, when he came to Chicago, he pretty much found himself in the midst of a deal between Vic. I want to say the Yardis, but I'm not quite sure. It was somebody that was scamming Vic and Jannard out of some bread, right? And that kind of showed like how just desperate or clueless they were at that point in time. So I was thinking that the end game for this show was for Vic and Jannard to come to some sort of agreement, like, hey, we both gonna be at top, we're gonna rule the city. You're not gonna F on my side. I'm gonna have, you know what I'm saying? I'll handle the east and west, you handle the south and north, and we just gonna let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of pretty much how it was before Tommy came in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had their little politics. They was like, you know what, we don't mix the races, we don't do all that. We just respect each other's, boundaries, So that's what I thought was going to happen. But with the recent developments, especially with Jannard, I don't see that happening. And this was my thought before Jannard got back on that stuff. Okay. But hey, that theory is out the window. But yeah, I could definitely see Vic walk. I wouldn't even be mad if Vic walked away because he never really wanted to be about this life. But he made a horrible mistake. D-Mac asked JP to move in, and of course JP he obliges. He's bored any damn way. Hell yeah, you can come back, son. Maybe we can, do some shit together. I don't know, JP. What you like to do for fun, boy? Because you damn sure ain't working. Like, I don't know. Maybe you can make sure D-Mac got a home cooked meal every day because the YNs be over there just exerting all the energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work moving bricks. But they hug it out, cute sentimental moment, and they've been giving us all those moments this whole season. So I definitely knew that somebody was going to go. I wasn't sure if it was Genesis. I wasn't quite sure if it was JP, but it looked like, somebody in the family was going to be out of here. I'm trying to wrap this up, you guys. So Diamond visits Shanti. Now, this scene was kind of awkward. And I didn't know where it was going to go. I was like, are we about to see them kind of spar it up? Like, granted, they're both great fighters, but I didn't know what I didn't know what I was in for when Diamond went into the ring. I'm like, But I do think it was, I don't want to say symbolic, but I feel like the blocking was kind of telling us a story. I hope I can explain this correctly, but I feel like Diamond entering Shanti's ring, which is her dome, that's kind of symbolic of him entering her world of, I don't want to say, I would say manipulation. Like he's coming into her territory for her to kind of get into his brain. Like he's coming into her realm. There's a better way. I'm sure I could have explained that, but that's what I'm going to give y'all. Okay. I'm sorry. It's late and eyes tired, boss. Okay. Surprised I ain't got the itis yet because dinner was quite hefty and good. But long story short, he tells her that Kendra is dead. Okay. And he wants to try to keep Shanti on board for working, with him in a coalition. But she was like, I don't know about that. Me and Tommy seems like we have, a good little situation here. But he explains like Tommy is a horrible partner and I wouldn't want that for you. Granted, I do agree. Tommy is not really a partner. Tommy wants to be the boss and he wants to have underlings. We saw pretty much how Tommy is treating Diamond is how Ghost kind of treated Tommy. Like, I feel like Ghost felt like he was the boss and Tommy was his number two, but Tommy was thinking they was partners. You know what I'm saying? So it just, history repeating itself. But Diamond was pretty much telling Shanti, like, we can't trust Tommy. And she was like, oh, trust. That's a cute word or whatever. Let me tell you and give you a little story about trust. Okay? Trust is not even something you and your brothers don't know nothing about, because your brother has been pretty much trying to murk you since the day you got out. He's been plotting against you, sir. And of course, Diamond, oh, I don't believe that. And I'm like, all right, Diamond. But he knows there's possibly some truth to that, because he already saw his brother snake him before. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at that point, he does feel like there's some truth to that. And he's on the sauce. So we already know his thoughts are probably going to be all over the place. So I'm interested on how they're going to handle that. Now, I did have the thought of possibly Diamond murking Jenard. I don't like that storyline, because I really want somebody else to do it. We'll talk about that in a second. But I feel like Diamond is going to allow himself to let them thoughts fester. And he's going to be to the point where he feel like he can't trust anybody. And I feel like the way Jenard just be all hyper and shit when he all over the place, I feel like Jenard's going to be a little too hyper. Diamond's going to be too much on that sauce. And if it's a blicky near, or they may even fight it out. Because, you know, they have sprinkled fights here and there throughout this show between them two. So I wouldn't mind seeing that, and maybe someone dying. But I don't want the brother thing. I really don't want that. That's not the direction I would prefer to go in. And that's what I do like about the writing. They are putting breadcrumbs in so many different directions. I'm not quite sure where they're going to go. Now, I have some ideas what I want them to do, but power be powering sometimes, so I don't know. So he pretty much leaves, and you know, he's unsuccessful with his chat with Shanti. Miguel, he confirms that he did recognize the hitter. And he confirms that it was from the Marquez cartel. And Maria was like, see, you both here on the same side. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't like this relationship, but it is what it is. Jenard, he visits King Kilo at his little beach soiree, if you will. I'm thinking, like, King Kilo, are you about to baptize yourself? Like, did you, turn over a new leaf? Like, I didn't know where we was going with King Kilo. I was like, okay, you don't get up. You gave your life to the Lord. I like to see it. Nah, that wasn't it, child. He just wanted to soak his feet in some water. And, he probably been thinking about the beach all day when he was over there in Cell Block D. So I thought he was about to change his life and give it to the Lord, y'all. That ain't happened. Mr. Jones, I was thinking that too. You said Diamond Jenard give Nino and G Money. I definitely thought that a few times. See Fluid 247. What's up? Good evening. How you doing? Yeah, Diamond do need to put that drink down, but I think he's so far gone, he probably don't even want to operate without that drink. Okay. Oh Lord. Long as he don't become a Franklin, Lord, I'd rather him just go. Anywho, so yeah, Jenard visits King Kilo. He was like, King Kilo, for the 58th time, I'm sorry to bother you, sir. But I have some news to share with you. Okay, Tommy has been playing all of us. Guess what? D-Mac is Tommy's nephew, and he has been playing us. And D-Mac was actually the one that murdered your nephew. And of course, King Kilo didn't like that at all. Okay, he was like, you know what? He's still alive. The person who murked my nephew. Okay, cool. I'm about to murk you. And so Jenard was like, oh, there's no need for that, sir. I can take you to where he is. Let's go on a field trip. So they go over there to JP's house, and JP over there washing dishes because that's all he be doing is cooking and watching MASH all damn day. And so he hear pew, pew, pew. And I'm like, what is that? Is the TV on too loud? Nope. It's Jenard, King Kilo, and his number 2. They just took out the Albanians that should have been protecting the house. Now, we're going to have a talk with these Albanians because they are weak as hell. Like, what are we doing here? Y'all supposed to be protecting the house. Anywho, they proceed to rough up JP and asked the whereabouts of D-Mac. He was like, I would never, ever tell y'all where my son is. What the hell y'all think this is? And of course, he's roughing them up, and they try to find D-Mac's number in JP's phone. And of course, he's not going to have his number saved under D-Mac. That's his YN name. No, he's going to have his government name. And they couldn't figure it out. So King Kilo sees that Tommy was one of the last calls, so he calls Tommy. And Tommy's hearing all the ruckus over the phone, and Tommy's like, good goddamn, this has been a long ass day, and my brother JP ain't fixed me no meal, and I'm hungry as hell. So with all the ruckus, JP yells, they after D-Mac. And of course, I don't know, old dude really, you could tell he probably broke a couple ribs from JP. JP was hurting, and I was feeling away. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. I was feeling away. But JP, all these goddamn letters, Lord. JP was smart and pretty much saying over the phone, Jannard, it is because I whooped your ass earlier today. And so Tommy's like, Jannard. I was like, oh, at least please, I'm glad, because we didn't need no mysteries, okay? We need to know where the hell Carmen Sandiego was. We needed to find that bitch, because no, we need to know who's in this room. So I'm glad JP was able to be quick on his feet. Now, if you would have murked Jannard 12 hours ago, we wouldn't be in this. But hey, I don't write the show. So next thing we know, Tommy was like, if you murk my brother, I'm going to kill. Now, I kind of did it in a different order, but JP was like, Jannard, is this because I whooped your ass? Oh, God. Sorry, y'all. Oh, Jesus. But I'm not gonna lie, JP had one of the maybe the top 25 realest deaths in Power history, okay? Because he was like, murk me like a real man, like, whatever. Next thing we know, pew, pew, pew. JP out of here. Tommy listening to the whole damn thing. And King Kilo like, God damn, I just wanted to get D-Mac. Now you got a whole nother situation. He was like, you know what? You and your brother, y'all been playing games. And that's tight, okay? If I wanted to play games, I'll be over there playing Connect Four, Spades, Uno, watching Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, or whatever the hell, okay? Because I'm free now and I can watch cable like I want to, and I ain't got to share the TV with nobody in the yard or in the little, rec center at, the jailhouse, okay? I don't want to play no games. So you know what? I'm going to get D-Mac myself. And King Kilo's number 2 was like, oh, I ain't know you got your ass whooped. So, of course, Jannard can't have these people leaving this house knowing this information, okay? He high as hell. He's losing bread because he's pretty much, King Kilo said, we're done with the organization. And honestly, I feel like they was going to murk Jannard if Jannard didn't murk them. They was ready to put 2 hot ones in Jannard 45 minutes prior. So Jannard was like, you know what? I'm feeling quite good off this Huron. Let me go ahead and just clean everybody out in this mother sucker. And he pew, 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 King Kilo. And then pew, 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 Kilo's number 2. And here we see Jannard in the middle of this goddamn living room with all these dead bodies. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I did not like JP being off. But that scene was quite fire as hell for me. Now that's, I think that was the end of Bad Boys 2. When Will was telling Martin, like, that's how you supposed to drive. Like, that's how you supposed to write. That is how y'all supposed to write a show to make me want to come back every Thursday. That's how I be with Raising Kanan. I be mad the show be going off. Now this, I was like, you know what? Y'all did that. Now we could have gotten that the prior 27 episodes of this show, we would have had another season or two. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But I was quite pleased with this episode. Really good. Like, other parts of this universe, I will watch an episode 2 to 3 times. I don't really quite do that with Forrest, but this one I watched twice. I said, you know what? This was good. This was good. Like Jannard, Chris D. Lofton, I believe. You did your thing. You did your thing. You're a great actor, sir. Kudos to you. Like I said before, like finding an actor like him is like, I don't want to say it's a rarity, but it's refreshing. Like I love that. Like I said this before, like if Force was in the 90s or something, like I can see like a Bokeem Woodbine like playing Jannard, like that intensity, that little ticky boom boom of it all. Like I love that type of character. Like you don't know what they about to do. And that's what I'm scared for now. I don't know what the hell Jannard about to do, y'all. Between him and his brother, they got a handful of bodies. This episode alone. So I think we're going to see a lot more bodies, but I don't know where we're going. I do feel like D-Mac, he needs to be the one that puts a couple hot ones in Jannard, okay? Because you tried to murk D-Mac not once, but twice. So it would be a fool for a YN such as D-Mac to allow a third time, okay? And as I explained before in another live, I feel like it would be poetic for the whole arc of this show for D-Mac to end Jannard, because we start off this show in the first season with D-Mac and Marshall being like the YNs, the ones that want to be put on, the ones that's ready to, you know what I'm saying, drop bodies and do whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they looked up to Jannard because he was the head of CBI. That's all they knew in terms of leadership, right? So I feel like it would be fitting and poetic for D-Mac to be the one to put Jannard down, because not only, you know, now I used to look up to you, now you gotta go, you know what I'm saying? What they say, you know, sometimes you gotta put down your heroes. I mean, they have another saying, don't ever meet your heroes, but I'm making this up. Sometimes you gotta put down your heroes, okay, because you murked my daddy and you tried to murk me twice. Now I know Tommy will really want to be the one to do it. And I wouldn't be opposed to there being a scene where Tommy and D-Mac both got Jannard hemmed up and Tommy will give D-Mac the pleasure. I wouldn't mind that as well. But I can also see Raheem being part of it as well, or even Shanti. Like, I feel like just how Tommy has so many ops, I feel like Jannard has opened himself up now to more ops. And then if King Kilo, if the rest of his crew finds out, because we saw, oh boy, was it Grayskull that was at the warehouse? He's still mad about Little K. Then we still have Diamond, who probably is now really thinking that Jannard has been trying to sneak him the whole time. So I really don't know where this show was going to go, but I am here for the ride, okay? Let's see here. P. Nicole, you said Chris be on Black Twitter acting just like Jannard. He gives me one of those characters, like he gonna play that. He gonna play the hell out of that role. And you probably meet him and probably have to think twice. Like, are you him for real? For real? Monica M, you said if Jannard makes it out, it will be a sorry ending. He literally earned his death. Yeah, I was saying that earlier. Like, even though Tommy, he has earned his death more than 1,000,000 times, but he is the protagonist, so he gets away with a lot of things. I don't know. Like, do y'all even see Tommy walking away? Like, I also had the thought possibly if there was some way that Tommy is able to make it out, but he has to leave Chicago. Like, remember how like Walter Flynn was always telling Tommy, like, you got to leave my city. I feel like, I don't know, like I could see Che possibly giving Tommy like some ultimatum, like, I'm gonna let you live because you gave me my bread and yada yada yada, but you got to be out my city or something. I don't know. Like, I feel something weird like that may occur. Who knows? I don't know if I want to see Tommy in Chicago anymore. Okay, you have damaged this city well enough. to where I feel like your services are no longer welcome. You need to F up somebody else's city. I don't know. But yeah, y'all, that was pretty much the episode. I don't think I have any more things to add at this point. It's already been 90 minutes. Jeez Louise. But I had a good time chopping it up and talking about this episode with you guys. We'll see if episode 9 gives me, the vibes. I may come up and discuss episode 9. I'm definitely doing like a full season review. Within a week of that last episode dropping. Do you have any other things y'all wanted to discuss before I get out of here? Let a sister know. Good night, Monica M. C Fluid, you said that Showstopper left to be in charge. I thought about that too. Like if he leaves Shanti in charge and she's good, to rule the thing, her and Miguel, maybe if Miguel makes it out. Because I thought Miguel was going to be a goner by this episode, but he's still surviving. So I don't know. I honestly do feel like, now that I think about it, I'm thinking I wouldn't be opposed to Miguel and Tommy doing the we got to kill the plug thing with Che as Tommy and Ghost did with Lobos. I could see them doing that because Che, you can go. I'm not feeling him at all. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's a cartel, so he's definitely going to be easily replaced, but I don't know if they'll go there or not. Big Kev 6455, how are you? Sorry I missed your comment. P Nicole said King Kilo was me trying to figure out this new technology. Oh gosh. Yeah, girl. JP. Are y'all sad JP is going? I mean, he really went around like that. We talked about that in Miss K's live, how the death of JP is definitely going to make him feel away. But if he loses somebody else, like a Genesis or Marshall, that will definitely like turn him up even more. Because we still have to deal with that whole, I'm sorry, I want to call her Asian lady, but I can't think of her name. Miss Yo or something like that. Yeah, that, whole robbery situation that may come out to be sorted out. But I'm thinking if we had another episode, another season, I feel like that would be another storyline to flesh out. But we don't have another season. So I don't know. But I also thought like, hey, I can see D-Mac actually turning over a new leaf and actually going to school, pursuing, the wishes of his father in Genesis if they were to go. But this is power and things don't really turn out that way. So, I mean, he could do like a Tariq and be a student YN. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm just gonna be here for the ride, y'all. I really don't have. I have a lot of thoughts, but no theory I'm willing to stand on the hill for. But thank y'all for really tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Big Kev, you said Tommy definitely could have called Tariq going by this timeline. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So Tariq could have been called. Probably. Yeah, that morning, after murking Stacy and after the fight with Diamond, that's probably the point where he could have called Tariq. Do y'all think, I don't know why, but I was also thinking like that Tariq call could have been or should have been a scene that we saw, like see Tommy's end of that call, because we already saw Tariq's point of view, but that probably would have been cheesy. Or him having a phone call and he's not saying who the call is, like, the caller, the other person on the phone is, and us figuring it out like, oh, it's Tariq, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like less and less thinking that Tariq is going to show up on this show But I did hear, I'm not sure where I heard this from, so I apologize, that episode 9 will be like a true finale, and episode 10 will kind of like jumpstart Legacy. And I'm so sorry. I normally like to cite where I hear things or my sources, but sometimes I hear things all over the place and I can't remember who exactly said it. That's not my original thought. Just know that. But I did hear that that has a possibility of happening. So we may just see a lot of action the next episode and then it being calm. Like much like how sometimes Raising Kanan, they'll have like not really like a calm finale, but it's definitely like normally a setup or a calm after the storm type feeling to usher in the new season. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I feel like they should squeeze in that phone call somewhere or possibly do. I don't want to say a flashback because flashbacks could be cheesy, but they could make it work. I don't know. Who knows, right? But yes, I'm looking forward to the next couple of episodes. So yeah, we'll see. I think we may have a break. I'm not sure. So just know I would try to give you at least 12 hours in advance if I do go live for the next couple episodes. Yeah, that's all I have for this evening. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. If y'all don't mind, please like the video. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I'm trying to show up a little more. You know, I fell off a little bit this year with a lot of things happening in life, but you know, I'm definitely trying my best to show up because I do enjoy talking with you guys. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great and blessed week. And if I don't see or hear from you guys, I hope you have a blessed and happy new year. Okay. But yeah, until next time, toodles.